Okay, I'm going to give you a general introduction to the engine of our Train for Inventor project that we're going to do. These are the instructions. You have a Google Classroom. This is a link to all those old videos that I made when we were doing the holiday project. So if you don't remember how to do a loft or a spline or something, those videos are all right there for you to reference if you need to. Now some general notes. The first one is, this is really our big project where we're going to put together everything you know about Inventor, and you're expected to use your knowledge on what way to do each part. And as I note right here, if your dimensions aren't coming out correct, then you didn't choose the right method, and that means you need to try again. So here's our instructions from our packet. You're going to be starting with the base of the engine first. And if you notice, there is a lot of dimensions on here. You actually need every one of these to get things in the right place. Some things that you need to notice. There are different ways you can build stuff. For example, you could start with this bottom base and extrude it going up, and then start adding other parts on top of it. Or you could draw this shape here and extrude it going that way. Which way is going to be best is up to you. The same thing here. What's the best way to build this back part? Do notice things like sometimes you need to go from this view down to this view. How tall this part is right here is actually based off of the center of this hole. So if you don't put this hole in first to figure out where this dimension is, you're not going to get the top part correct. This little like window here also, notice that it's offset. This is a mistake a lot of people make. So it goes back a little bit, and then there's the center, and it goes straight out on each part there. So what order do you need to do those parts in? Some other things you need to make notes of is these little notes that are on here. You have to do these on your Inventor files. This one says that all holes are drilled with a pointed angle. That means at the very back it's a point, not flat. And it says round all edges to 0.1. Well, you can't see it on this one, but if you look back on this front page, you see here's all these rounded edges on everything. If you're missing some of those, you're going to lose points on it, because these are part of the drawings. Also, these holes are actually holes and not just extrusions in there. So you need to make sure that when they're holes, you're following the videos that I'll be making and showing you on how to get the holes done correctly. As a general note, some of the other ones, SR stands for spherical radius. So it's like a sphere, like a ball. When you do that, you need to make that the center of it is along the center axis here. If you don't put the center on the center axis, it's going to be in the wrong place. You need to make sure that you're getting these dimensions correct. Again, if you're not putting the dimensions, if your dimensions don't come out correct at the end, you made the part wrong. And again, notice these extra notes here. The bottom edge should be chamfered. If you miss those things, you're going to lose points. This piece here, people often don't make it the right length. Notice that those are going to the centers of those. This piece is also often missing some of these parts right here. Make sure you're getting all those parts drawn correctly. So back to our instructions here. You will be allowed, because these are very specific and this is our big project, you will be allowed to redo the part to a higher grade. So you turn it in the first time and you've got a bunch of points counted off. It'll be corrected, the teacher will mark down what needs to be fixed, and you'll get a chance to go back and fix it and turn it in. But the first time you redo it, your maximum grade will be a 90. And then if you have to redo it again, your maximum grade will be an 80, and so on. These are very technical and you have to get every little part right. Here's your grading for everything. It'll be -5 per mistake, unless it says something here like this first one is -3 per mistake. And then here's our general instructions. Everything's going to be put on sheet C. You need hidden lines on multi-views and shading on isometrics. Here's your project name for all your sheets. Your name should be in this format. We should have all that stuff in all caps. The part name on each of your things should be like engine. This one should be engine. This one should be hitch magnet. This one should be hitch peg, etc. And you need to pick an appropriate scale. We have been doing this all year long. If you have little tiny parts with a lot of white space, that's wrong. The part should fill up the space on the sheet. Then dimensioning is going to be something we're going back to. We did this last semester and we're going to be putting it on here. You should have the same number of dimensions as the packet. So for example, on the train engine, every one of these dimensions that shows up here should show up on your train. literally we're going to go through and double check, count all these, and that's how many you should have. Also, it says here, do not include duplicate dimensions. When I say that we're going to count how many there are here and make sure you have that many, it doesn't mean put a duplicate because you can't figure out which one is missing. Just go through and check each one of these. If it's on here, then it should be on your trait. And you need to be following all the dimensioning rules we had before. Here's the video about dimensioning in Inventor that we had before. Here's the video that I did earlier about how to do center lines, because you'll notice that there's a lot of circles on here. All these circles is things with radius, they all need center lines done properly on them, or you're going to lose points. Then there'll be little videos on each one of these sections. So please pay attention to all these parts as you get started on this.